Hello World is a song that we sing.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Preservation Society, the podcast for people born in the big wheel generation who really wished they were Oscar Mayer wieners, or wondered why they were supposed to wish they wanted to be Oscar Mayer wieners.
Oh, well, we believe something. Since I didn't go right after. Okay.
I did that on Sean. I couldn't believe it because I didn't have it in front of me.
We believe our Gen X childhoods gave us unforgettable songs, stories, characters, and images. And if we don't talk about them, they'll disappear like Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition.
And today, we'll be saving the 70s version of mixtapes with a tribute to the most beloved Ktel record of all time. No, it's not Full Tilt. It's not Hot Nights and City Lights. It's not even 24 Great Truck Drivin Songs. It's Music Express.
I'm Carolyn.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Michelle. And we are your pop culture preservationists.
Way back in 2021, we released an episode devoted to the only thing that I actually collect. A subsection of my vinyl record collection is devoted to Ktel albums. It is possibly the most Gen X thing one could collect, musically, visually, artistically, textually, culturally. And if you're having trouble picturing them, or if you're like, what is Ktel? I don't know, maybe you didn't have a TV or something. Ktel records were compilation albums full of the hit songs of that very moment, the songs that were actually played on the radio right at that moment. And how did we know about them? Because they were advertised incessantly on TV.
Incessantly, either really, really late at night or in those afternoon reruns that we would watch, when we got home from school. Those were the two places that I remember them playing incessantly, and I needed to have those albums then.
Yeah, and they would scroll the songs. The songs would scroll up like credits, the different titles of the songs, and you would get 3 seconds of each
If
one?
that, yeah.
Like knock 3 times, and then the next song would start.
It's not a lot less than you actually get on the album.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, because all of the songs are really truncated.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just remember, for me, the hallmark of the Ktel commercial is that man's voice, right? 20 original hits, 20 original stars. And then he'd be like, you get this album for $5.99, $6.99 8-track.
And it was so urgent. Everything was so urgent. Everything go.
That's right.
Now.
Everything was so quick and so
now.
urgent. And then they'd list
now.
the stores, like, at Kmart, at Boscov.
Yeah.
It would list places that you think, oh, where's that? Because you didn't recognize the name of the
Yes,
store
you're like,
because
what's
it wasn't
Kroger?
yours.
I don't know what Kroger is.
Well, did you know that early on they would say not available at any store because they weren't right away?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Eventually they got sold in retail stores, but at first they would be like, they do all the little Elton John, the Captain and Tennille, Charlie Daniels, because it was always the weirdest mix. And then he'd be like, and many more. And then it would be like,
and many
not
more.
available in any stores. Yeah. But wait,
that's right.
There's more.
There's a whole lexicon that the Ktel album infomercial, they're the first infomercials really that they created, which you just said it, Michelle. But wait, there's more. It wasn't just Elton John, Charlie Daniels, the Pointer Sisters. But wait, there's more. And they could do that like 5 or 6 times in a commercial. But in addition to but wait, there's more, and in addition to 20 original hits, 20 original stars, you also had as seen on TV or never before seen on TV.
Yeah.
And not available in stores or only available at Kroger and Walgreens. And you know what? It just went on and on.
And as a, 8-year-old watching these, a 10-year-old watching these, the urgency in his voice, also the 3-second song, and a lot of them, I was watching some of the commercials on YouTube this morning, they just show their face, right? They show like an album cover, but also the names of all the songs are scrolling. There's so much going on.
It's so frenetic.
As a little, 8 or 10-year-old, I was frantic, and the only thing I knew to do is order it. But
you know what else?
I need it.
They would have the 800 number, but there'd also be the address that you could write to get it.
That's right.
And I remember trying to feverishly write the address on a piece of paper. Not that I'd be able to get it anyway, but it would go so fast and I'd be so worked up. And sometimes I didn't get the whole thing. It was like I had to wait till I saw the commercial again and grab my little piece of paper and get the, the zip
You're
code
just
or
going to
whatever.
leave the paper and the pencil right by the TV. And you just have to sit there until it comes on again.
But I mean, that is good targeting for us as children.
Yes, it is.
Because like I said, it was so frantic. We were so afraid we were missing something because it was all going so fast.
Yeah.
We didn't want to miss out, especially when, even if only 2 of those songs were favorite songs of ours,
it doesn't matter.
Maybe we even already had the 45. Maybe we even already had them on an 8-track. We didn't care. We needed them on this album.
That's right. Yeah. They were all together. It's like the ultimate Love Boat episode where all of our artists are having these crossovers. I mean, when you get Captain and Tennille and, Seals and Crofts and the Pointer Sisters along with, Kenny Rogers, all is well in the world. And
That's the best like subtitle to a Ktel record I've ever heard. The Love Boat of albums.
Yes, it totally is. And you're like, who's going to be on it this time?
Right.
And even the titles of the albums were so urgent. And everything sounds like it has an exclamation point at the end. You had Right On, Out of Sight, Full Tilt, High Energy, Star Power. My favorite is Mind Bender. Like, what's mind bending about it?
That's a good one. I like
Bender.
This one specialized. I have a list of some of the titles, and this one specialized in soul and R&B. Because don't forget, some of them were purely just country.
That's right.
Most of the ones like we liked mixed it all together. You just got all of it, right?
Yep.
You might get Music Box Dancer with like The Devil Went Down to Georgia or something. But this one specialized in soul and R&B, and it's called Super Bad.
Yes, Super Bad. And then they had another one that was like Super Badder or something like that. Super Worse.
Circuit Breaker. Circuit Breaker is actually what.
That's right, Circuit Breaker.
Circuit Breaker.
Yeah, there's a Circuit Breaker. There's a lot of
I want to
electricity.
show you guys. I found mine. The few that I have, I think I have like 6 or 7 that I've collected, nowhere near Kristen's collection. But Music Power was one that I think I owned because this looks very familiar. This cover.
Oh, yes, it does.
But Kristen, I couldn't believe it when I had to take a double take when I was looking at this is Jim Stafford. Do you remember that song? I don't like, what is it? The Spiders and Snakes. Do you remember that song at all? You guys might know.
I would a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
But this had
I
Gladys
don't
Knight
like
the Pips.
spiders and snakes, something like that.
Snakes. But I don't know the words now. We can put that in right there. But it has besides Sonny and Cher and Barry White, it has Millie Jackson.
I know. Oh
Jackson,
my God, you guys! I know
there.
It's not just Rory Calhoun that is actually a real person. Millie Jackson is also a real person, and she is a soul singer.
She sings
an R&B and soul singer.
It Hurts So Good, and it's not that one. Hurts So.
No,
that's
not that
good.
one.
So
It's
good,
not
is
the
it?
John Cougar Mellencamp one. Or
right.
John Cougar.
No, it is
or John
not.
Mellencamp.
But so I would just was like, our Millie Jackson. So there you go.
Yep, nothing.
I love that.
Everything's for a reason.
Look at this one. Starburst.
Oh, I love that one.
And it's
that's a good one.
And it's just the covers.
It's got
Can we
fireworks
talk about
on
the
it.
covers? Because look at that.
That's the thing that
Holy
is so
cow.
70s about it. Starburst, I love so much that I have
Dynamic
actually
Sound.
bought it like 3 times.
Oh my God.
Carolyn is now holding
it is a good
Dynamic
one.
Sound.
Yes.
Dynamic Sound.
And look, it's got like sound waves on it.
Uh-huh.
Sexy
This
Mama.
one is
Remember that
Music
song?
Machine, and it's a big robot.
Man, it has Sexy Mama and then Paper Roses.
Oh my God.
Do
Right
you guys?
next to
I
each other.
want you to look carefully behind this robot. And listeners, we know this isn't a visual media, but you can see this on YouTube if you go watch.
True.
And also, we're going to put some of these covers in this week's Weekly Reader. I want you to look behind. Oh, look at Andy Gibb right
Look
there.
at
though.
Andy Gibb
I
in the
want you
little
to look at
circle and the
behind
little
robot.
porthole.
Look how giant the computers are.
Oh,
I thought they were skyscrapers.
No,
That's
look
how
at
big
that.
they were. I have always thought that
No,
was a city,
I
like
did
a
too.
skyline. But they're
Do you see his
robots. Music
giant
Machine has
computer?
robots.
Music
Right over
Machine
Andy
is
Gibb's
a
head.
really good one, and you've got Kenny Rogers singing Lucille right in between. I Like Dreamin' by Kenny Nolan, which is one of my favorite. I love that.
Oh, I love that
so
song.
much. It is heartbreaking. Oh God, it's heartbreaking. And also Alice Cooper. It's a good mix.
Well, I've got
Oh,
the Hudson
you have Out of
Brothers.
Sight. Oh my God.
I've got the Hudson Brothers on Out of Sight, along with the DeFranco family. and Kool and the Gang and the Kiki D Band. So before Elton John and Kiki D were together, there was the Kiki D Band. And coincidentally, she's listed right after Elton John on the list of folks.
That's probably not even
amazing.
So we talked about this a little bit in our first Ktel episode, but Dave Grohl, the frontman, the drummer for Nirvana, the frontman for Foo Fighters, he has praised Ktel for exposing him to music when he was a child, specifically the song Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group. This is the song that made him want to be a musician. And this came on his first album, which was Blockbuster. He had Blockbuster. And his mom, who was a school librarian, they didn't even have a turntable at home. His mom would check out the turntable at school and bring it home for him so he could listen to Blockbuster. He has said Blockbuster changed his life. And from Blockbuster, we get Nirvana and we get Foo Fighters. I mean, it's just like your brain just explodes. And Dave is not alone because these records really kind of became a vehicle for how we discovered new music in the 70s and in the 60s and the 70s through Ktel compilations. In the same way that people are using Spotify playlists today to find new artists. And I read this blog post by this person who said that they would get a Ktel album and then they would study. They would play it and they would have their piece of paper and their pencil and they would then write down the names of the artists that he would just give to his mom and be like, okay, now go to the record store and buy those records. It's like he was using the Ktel album just like you would any sort of Spotify discovery thing. And we've talked about this before, it's basically the precursor of the mixtape. Because we couldn't make mixtapes. There was no way to have songs from different artists on one medium. We needed Ktel. It was life or death.
Right.
And it saved us from having to buy 20 45s for $1 a piece. So instead of paying $20 for all those 45s, you pay $4.99.
Well, also, a normal album only had, maybe 10 songs on the whole album or 12 songs on the whole album.
That's right.
Because they were full-length songs.
That's right.
These were a little bit truncated, the songs, but they squished 20 of them on there.
Yeah. And you knew most of them for the most part, so you could sing along. Like, if I got an album, I might know 3 of the songs, and I'm the person that skipped a lot of the ones.
There might be one.
Know.
Yeah, you're buying an album based on one hit, basically, and you may or may not like the whole album. Ktel, even though they did stuff the albums with some unknown, like lesser hits that you may not know about, and some of them were clunkers, but the number, like the ratio is much higher. These are all songs you know from the radio. And then there are just a few clunkers here. And oftentimes it would be side 1 would be really great. And side 2 would be a little more of a snoozer, but still quite awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the most popular Ktel album? Well, if only we knew, technically. But if we can judge by the internet and how often people talk about it, Music Express is by far the most beloved Ktel album. Just ask my friend Amy, who chose to pose for a picture with Music Express instead of her first true love, Donny Osmond. I had this crush party. I invited everybody over and everyone was grabbing their albums of their first crushes and they're going to take this big picture. And she's like, can I pose with Music Express? Because she's in love with Music Express. And I swear to God, the look on, this happens all the time. It's not just my friend Amy who is in love with Music Express. I have witnessed people come face to face with Music Express for the first time since 1975 when it was released. And the look on their face is no different than if you showed them a picture of their first crush. Like they are in love with Music Express.
Well, it meant so much to them, right? They have
really,
so many
really
memories tied to it.
Yeah.
And probably the first Ktel album for a lot of Gen Xers because it's 1975.
1975.
Yeah. So you think about it, like I'm the oldest Gen X and that would have made me 10.
Yeah.
So
it could be your first album.
Yeah.
That's prime.
Certainly your first Ktel album, I would think.
First albums and also prime. I'm getting away from my Disney albums and starting to really want to branch out into actual music that's on, on the radio.
That I like. That is not just what my parents like. And for me, this particular compilation, Music Express, is so transportive. I don't know if that's a word. I feel like I'm making it up. It transports me. It's like a time travel word. It is a visceral time travel experience for me when I listen to this album. I almost tingle. I swear to God, I almost tingle with familiarity, like I'm in the same room where I listened to these songs the first time. We need a word for that. It's not Husker Du. What is it when you're like, oh my God, I'm there. I'm totally. Getting Manilowed a little. It's a little bit like being Manilowed,
but it's more like
I feel like it's
like
you're
it's
just
transportive, right?
Yeah.
We'll think of that. Or listeners,
Yeah.
send us a message and help us with that one.
Yeah, help us come up with that word. And I think it is what you were talking about, Michelle. I think it's because in 1975, I was 7, and this is like my musical coming of age. This was when I was
7.
starting to listen. I know. Is that unusual? I don't know.
Again, new
It
listeners.
felt normal to
not
me.
for Kristen.
New listeners, Kristen Benjamin has Benjamin Button's life. So when she was 7, she was really like 38.
I was 39 when I was 7. But this is when I'm really starting to make my own choices about music. I am buying music with my birthday money. I am listening to I have my own radio. I'm listening to the radio by myself. I'm just not passively listening to whatever my parents put on the turntable or put on the radio. It's a big deal in a person's life. And I kind of want to challenge everybody to figure out what age that was for you, and then see what music corresponds to it and see if you have any feelings about that. So I feel like the songs on this album, as varied as they are, there are a lot of songs that are kind of haunting. Just and we'll tease that out a little bit more as we go song by song. We'll name those songs later, but it's really weird. It's like a haunting vibe in the midst of like disco bops and story songs. Even though we don't know about the sales figures, if this actually was the biggest selling one, it does have one of the highest number of charting songs on it.
Oh.
It says on the cover, it says, "Oh, top 10 hits." I don't think that's true. According to my research, that is verifiably false, but nonetheless, it does have a lot of chart hits, more than some of the others. But what I do know, this is verifiable somehow, and I don't know how people tracked this. It is the most searched Ktel album online. When people want to find, and I'm guessing that's because they had it and they want to find out what was on their album.
Right. Is that the one that you didn't have for so long?
No, that was Hot Nights and City Lights.
Oh, yes, of
I
course.
actually
Hot Nights
have,
and
I
City
have
Lights.
3 copies of this. And part of the reason that I have 3 copies is because it's so pretty. You guys, look at this album.
That's I think the art
best.
on so many of those album covers was so happy. And so like when you said people get this visceral response, I know for me, when I saw that album and also, the Dynamite one or whatever it was called.
Dynamic Sound.
Yeah, it's the cover of the album and the fonts and the color and the design. That's what really hits me. Like I have to go and look and see what the songs were, but it's that album cover that jolts me back and says, "Oh yeah, you owned that. You stared at that."
Yes. Do you guys remember? I don't know if this is a very Gen X thing. I think it is because I don't know that my girls did this. When we were in art class, the first time we learned about perspective, and so hold up your Music Express album, Kristen. And so just for the people just listening, and again, we're going to have a cover of this and probably just on social media this week. We probably won't even wait till the Weekly Reader, but all the big block letters and then all the lines go down to a point kind of at the bottom of the album. It kind of turns and goes to the side, but let's just for the purposes of my explanation and my memory of this, they all go down. When we had to do that in art class, like with our name, we had to write our names in like block letters, and then we had to put a point. Do that. And then you put a point at the bottom or at the top of your paper, and then you used your ruler, and from your block, so see, like from every edge, it goes down. Me and my friends, we did that with everything for about 2 months or something. It was like on all our notes, on all our, it was really fun.
We're doing this, you guys. We're going to make our own art projects. This is my kind of art project. If it involves a ruler, I can do it.
So here's what I want you guys to do, and then we are going to take pictures. So let's put the cover of Music Express just on social media this week. But before Friday, when this weekly reader comes out, we're all going to write our names in block letters. And I can even do mine first and then show you what I'm talking about. You guys will know. I think this might whisper to you. And if it doesn't, I'm so sorry you didn't get this in art class. And I hope that there's some people listening going, yes, we used to do that in elementary school too. And then you can do all those rainbow colors like you did. We would write words. We would write like words of your, like the name of your crush or whatever. And
so we're going to do our names. And I'm just going to, just for the, because again, it's not a visual medium, I'm going to describe it very specifically.
Yes.
The background is a grape color. The block letters saying Music Express are bright yellow. And then you have these rainbow colors like Michelle described, all coming out of each letter coming down to a point. And then underneath Music Express, it says 20 original hits, 20 original stars. And then it lists all of the people on the album. And here's the hallmark of the Ktel album. You have the little portholes. You have the little circles with the artists on it.
Love Boat.
This is the Love Boat portion of our album cover.
Right.
Yes. And so I'll just give you a little preview on the copy of this one. And I'm telling you, these portholes sold these albums. If you were a Walgreens and you saw Andy Gibb in a little porthole, you're like, Mom, I need this.
I'm boarding that ship.
Yes. I'm going to board that ship. So in the portholes on Music Express, we have Phoebe Snow, the Captain and Tennille, Elton John, and 10cc. That's just a little teaser. Just a little teaser.
Just to wet your whistle.
Just to wet your whistle. And now we have got to get moving on this album because we have 20 original songs and 20 original stars to talk about. It's going to take us a long time. And we're going to go through, we're going to go in order. Side one, all the songs in order. Side two, all the songs in order. And so starting with side one, our first song is probably, I think it was the biggest song of 1975. Michelle, you're going to tell us.
I think it was too. We did recently, well, by recently, I mean a couple months ago, back in 2025, I think in the fall, we did a whole celebration of 50 years of pop culture things. And I believe this was the #1 song of 1975. And that's Love Will Keep Us Together by the Captain and Tennille. I think like you guys, my memories of this song, I'm only 5 and 6 years old at the time, but loving it, singing it gleefully, especially the I will be there for you together. Yeah. So I just have memories of belting this song out. The song was written by Neil Sedaka and Howard Greenfield. It made a huge leap. This is so incredible. The song made a huge leap. At one point, it was number 98 on the Billboard Hot 100. And the next week, in just 9 weeks, it went from 98 to #1.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I think that's kind of unprecedented.
It is an amazing song. It's like the earworm of the century.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that I would say that is the song, if I had to say, of my Gen X growing up. I mean, I have that album because I saw it right when I was looking up my Ktel albums. And I would sing the hell out of that with those giant headphones. And my dad would come in and say I was too loud and all that.
Well,
I can only imagine how bad that sounded.
But especially when you're doing the I wills.
Yes.
I just think there's a solid handful of songs that completely take you, that word we need, transport you right back in that Wayback Machine. And this is one of them. It stayed at #1 for 4 weeks. I think this is really cute. In her memoir, Toni Tennille said that the first time she ever heard her own voice on the radio, it was this song. And she was driving in her car and she was so overwhelmed. She says she nearly drove her car off the road. She had to pull over into a gas station to calm down. So I thought that was cute. The song won Grammy Award for Record of the Year in 1976. But Daryl Dragon, as you know, is the captain. Did you know that on this song, he actually played every single instrument except for the drums?
Oh, I did not know that.
I did not know that either. He's like a Richard Carpenter or something.
Well, his father was a big band leader.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Carmen Dragon. His dad's name is Carmen Dragon. And why do I know this? Because my grandpa worked with him. Yeah.
And I'm
The way Kristen asks us, she's like, well, like we all would know that. Well, you know that his grandfather was, or his father, and like that's just common knowledge. Well, thank you.
Exactly.
We learned something all
Some
the
people
time.
know
You know
Carmen
what?
Dragon. Raise
Here
your
come
hand if you
those-
know Carmen
those
Dragon.
rainbows are flying out of everybody's listening device right
Yeah,
now. The
that's
more you
right.
know. And we've talked about this before that I did not know until this past fall when we did our 1975 episode. But during the song's fade out, Tony Tennille can be heard saying Sedaka is back. And that's a tribute to Neil Sedaka, who wrote the song. And because he made a huge comeback in the mid 70s.
It
And I'm
was
going to mention
huge.
that briefly in just a little bit. Okay, two other things that I
Oh, wait,
did
but
not
I do
know.
have to add, on the
Yeah.
Ktel album, they fade it before Sedaka is back.
Well, that's
Oh.
because
Which is really
they
sad.
cut all those
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
I know.
He says, lunch will keep us together. There's no meal that's better. Just give me a fork and a spoon. It's almost noon. Make me some food, 'cause I wanna eat soon. Just stop, 'cause I'm
'Cause
really
I really
hungry.
love you.
Stop.
Oh!
I can hear my tummy. Look in the fridge and let lunch keep us together. And then
Nicely
it goes
done, Neil
into
Sedaka.
hot dog, mac and cheese, french fries and ketchup all around. When the others say they're stuffed, who's still chowing it down? I
will be there
Bite,
to share forever.
bite down and chew forever. Yes, Neil Sedaka has a 2009 children's album, and I think now I must find it, and I need all the
agree.
songs in my life.
I
Yeah.
love Neil Sedaka. I think that would be an awesome kids album.
I'll remind people quickly of the story that I've told 9 million times about hearing Love Will Keep Us Together in a casino in Reno when I was 7.
That's a song right there.
Yes.
In a casino in Reno.
Reno. I thought they were the Captain and Tennille.
And when I say casino,
But they were,
like, I just
Johnny
realized,
and Lucille.
like, people might think that I went to a concert at a casino. That was not a thing then. No. I left the diner and went into the lounge with my 4-year-old brother alone because my parents were playing blackjack. And we went to see some people that I thought were the Captain and Tennille. They were not. Okay. Are we ready to move on to the next one? Or
We
you got
are,
more?
but I am going to write
Okay.
a song about that because I do like the whole, I thought it was the Captain and Tennille, but it was really just Jerry and Lucille.
Yep.
I'm going to write
Jerry
a
and
rhyming
Lucille.
song about this.
Yep. And Lucille in her bowl cut. Next on our album, we have Swearing to God by Frankie Valli. You have to have the apostrophe. It's not swearing to God. It's swearing to God. And that's
I
how it's
don't
written
know
on the
that
album.
song.
What?
Yes,
you don't know
do.
Swearing to God?
Oh, maybe.
Swearing
Let's
to God.
play it.
Swearing to
Let's play it
God.
right now.
I can bring it up.
Okay.
You can take that out. Hold on, I got hurt so good.
And there
Queued
is
up.
an apostrophe. It is SWEARIN apostrophe. Swearing.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course it is. Because I don't want anyone to make a mistake and say
Yeah,
swearing.
no.
And I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, he's swearing.
Here, a little disco beat in there.
Nothing yet? Nothing?
I'm sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. I meant
I
to-
want the.
Oh, sorry. I meant to fast
You did the
forward it.
chorus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
know
now
this
she's
song
got
now.
it.
Okay.
But you're right, Carolyn. This has a very distinct. If you had asked me this, I wouldn't have been able to tell you this until I'm listening with these ears. There is a very distinct disco beat. And on this album, you can see that disco did not start with Saturday Night Fever. This is
Correct.
1975. And some even say that it was on its way out at the end of 1975. And You Should Be Dancing, which is from Saturday Night Fever, is a recycled Bee Gees song from their 1975 album. I think it's 1975, Main Course. I mean, the biggest disco hit of all time is not literally from Saturday Night Fever. But here's another, just a little tiny factoid about Swearing to God. Swearing to God. So
Swearing to God.
of course, when you have an album, one of the big benefits of having an album is what? Reading it, right? And so you just like, who are the names? Who did this? And on Swearing to God, it says Caseym Music. Caseym. And so just tell me, like, visually,
That-
what does that say to you?
Casey Kasem.
Yeah. I immediately think
Exactly.
Casey Kasem.
I was like
Yeah,
picturing
that's
that.
exactly
Yeah,
what I
that's like
thought.
almost like a combination of his name.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's KCM Music. And so I also immediately thought Casey Kasem. And so I'm like, oh, let's Google it. Let's see if Casey Kasem had something to do with this song. I can't say that I have any information for you. However, when I put in KCM Music, Casey Kasem is the only thing that comes up.
Did he
So I'm
have
going to
like
say yes.
like some sort of production label or something like that? Like a company?
We'll find out for another episode.
Okay.
I only did the first page
Let's
of hits.
let's put a pin in
I'm
that.
saying yes.
Everyone,
We're
let's
saying
put
yes.
a pin in that and move on.
The next song on Music Express is perhaps one of my favorites that can do that transportive thing, and that would be Get Down Tonight by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Get Down Tonight. That song, along with That's the Way I Like It and Shake Your Booty, were the soundtrack of my roller rink days, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Totally.
I mean, if you have to say who is the artist you remember the most from roller skating, it would be Casey and the Sunshine Band. And as I was thinking about the song today and kind of singing it along, it was really pretty overtly sexual for a top 40 song that a 10-year-old would be belting out at the roller rink, because you've got do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. So I can just see, and I think we would go down like as we were roller skating.
Oh yeah, like you
down
squat.
tonight. Yeah, like do that
or
little
you
squat
just
thing.
kind of, or you could just kind of do the dip.
Yes.
We're all roller skating right now.
Yeah,
right,
sorry,
everybody.
you guys. You can't see us. Go on
Can
YouTube,
you just
guys.
see
You
a
can
bunch
us.
of 9 and 10-year-old kids just make a little love down to, it's just really kind of funny. Just flirted with that line of being a little too much, but they got to play it on, on the radio. It was Casey and the Sunshine Band's first #1 hit, reaching the top of the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 1975. Many historians point to it as one of the songs that pushed disco out of clubs and into suburban America.
Okay, that's important. Yeah.
Yes, I think, and that's so true. When I think about what would be, I wouldn't have even thought it was disco in a way, because somehow I always think disco is what you just said, Kristen, that Saturday Night Fever and all of those songs. But that didn't happen until 1977. So here we are doing our thing. And then we just said that Frankie Valli's song had a disco beat. So I think we're starting to see that musicality in a lot of our songs.
On mainstream radio, it's coming into the suburbs, it's in our homes, it's on a 7-year-old's record player.
Exactly. So really, probably one of the first exposure for a lot of us Gen Xers to the whole disco culture. Now, I found a couple of quick facts that I thought Kristen might enjoy, because in a way they meant absolutely nothing to me, but it had to do with the musicality of the song. So this track uses strategic dropouts. Do you know what that is, Kristen?
I have no idea.
I didn't either. But it's moments where instruments just fall away to create tension before slamming back into the groove.
Oh, I want to listen now.
This technique became a disco staple, later used heavily in dance remixes. I don't know what it is, but we can. But
I can't even imagine it. But now that we know, we're going to hear it, and we'll never.
Yeah, we need to
again.
listen.
That's exactly
and
right.
see if we can
That's
identify
exactly right.
where it comes.
Yeah, and I think from what I have noticed on social media, I think Casey and the Sunshine Band are still, at least Casey is still around singing these songs like on 80s or 70s cruises, I guess, and stuff like that. So
the casino tour route.
Yeah.
Speaking of casinos,
That's right. But not big casinos that you've heard of. Sadly.
When you said it was the
Oh.
when you said it was the soundtrack to your roller skating or your roller
Yeah.
rink days, I think I just thought of the word. I was whooshker dude.
Whoosher,
You're
whoosher, dude.
back.
Yes, you are. You're
Don't you
literally
think
pulled
that
back
we
to
are
another
whooshker
location.
dude?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Because
love
we're
that.
whoosh back.
yeah, we're
Because
whoosher, dude.
When you started saying that and singing it and listing the other Casey and Sunshine Band songs, I felt like I was at the roller rink. Like I could remember even when you'd walk with all four wheels down that was making a sound, right?
Yes,
Yes,
totally.
Yes, but I was whooshker dude back to the roller rink.
that wins. I love it.
Okay, we're
Perfect.
Everybody write it down. It's part of our
Yes.
lexicon.
Whooshker
our
dude.
PCPS
I'll
lexicon.
trademark it right after this
Whooshker
episode.
dude. Okay,
This
nobody
side
steal it.
one is we're gonna spend more time on side one, I think,
We
than
are.
side two. This is definitely a banger. Side one is a banger, and side two is like "Meow, meow." We'll see. Carolyn, what's next?
Yeah. So next coming up is Philadelphia Freedom. And I'll be honest, you guys, that would not have been a song that I probably would have chose as one of my favorites in 1975. But because, as you all know, my high school, 8th grade and high school were all spent in the suburbs of Philadelphia. I just have such fond memories of this song. It was kind of the anthem of the city and for all the sports teams. And I love how joyful and upbeat it is. So that song does have a special place in my heart. And as much as I love it, I had no idea about its origins. So
I don't know anything.
I'm going to take you to Philadelphia Freedom School. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, because
You're
why
gonna
would
learn
this
some
guy
things.
from England be singing about Philadelphia? Okay,
Right.
okay, fill us in.
So this song was released in February of 1975 as a standalone single. It did not appear on an Elton John album until his Greatest Hits Volume 2 in 1977. 2 years later. So actually, when you think about it, the first time Philadelphia Freedom appeared on an album, it was Music Express.
Oh my God. Yes.
How about that?
It is.
Yes. Otherwise, you bought the 45. The song reached the top of Billboard's Hot 100 in April of 75 and stayed there for 2 weeks, becoming one of Elton's biggest hits of the 70s. Okay, here's why he wrote it. Elton wrote the song as a tribute to tennis legend Billie Jean King and her world team tennis team called the Philadelphia Freedoms.
What?
Yes.
I had no idea.
I did not either. And the 45 label even reads, "With love to BJK and the sound of Philadelphia."
Oh, I just got total nipple lightning.
How about them apples, you guys?
Oh my God.
Yes. I cannot.
That changes everything.
Doesn't it, though?
Yes, it
So
changes
it was
everything.
specifically written for that moment, standalone song, not part of an album or anything. And we can also attest to the fact that the original version is not the one we hear on Music Express because the original recording is about 5 minutes and 38 seconds. And at first, some radio stations refused to play it because they said it was too long for radio playlists, but its popularity overrode that. And obviously, it did get its time on the airwaves, and we get it being a top hit of of Elton's career. And now, when he tours, actually, is he touring anymore, or are we on our last farewell?
He had his finale.
His farewell.
Yeah, his farewell. Yeah,
His
wasn't it
finale
at Dodger Stadium or something?
Yeah. I think that's right. Well, when he used to tour, and if the city he was in, if the rhythm and the musicality worked for the name Philadelphia, he would say the name of that city. So, Minneapolis Freedom. Maybe we should write a song now that I'm thinking of it.
Actually, yeah.
We need it. We need it.
So those are my fun Philadelphia Freedom facts. And that was great alliteration, wasn't it? My fun Philadelphia Freedom facts.
Well, and there's something notable on Philadelphia Freedom on the album cover, and that is that it says that it's by the Elton John Band. Not by Elton John. It's by the Elton John Band. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I look it up, and it says basically, well, he just wanted to attribute it to all of the people in his band, who included some interesting people, including Nigel Olsson, who is his drummer. Do you remember this hit, "A Little Bit of Soap will wash away the makeup from her face"? Does that not sound familiar to you? It's a really good song. Okay, so that's Nigel Olsson. I think he was a one-hit wonder.
I thought it was a commercial.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sure it was
I thought
licensed
you were
as a
gonna
commercial.
say it was for like
A little
Noxzema.
bit of soap.
Yeah.
But this one, this is such an underground Gen X tip. Okay, the person singing backup in the Elton John Band is a person that we recognize, we know as Cindy Bullins, now known as Sydney Bullins. Oh, Carolyn's looking. Yeah, she's I see recognition in her face.
We've talked about her before.
Yes, we
but
have.
I can't remember why.
Cindy Bullins is actually a dead name. They're known now as Sydney Bullins. They transitioned to be a man. And we know Sydney Bullins from the Grease soundtrack. From those little known songs, there were, it's not Olivia Newton-John, it's not Rizzo, it's Cindy Bullins. And so Sydney Bullins sang "Freddie My Love," "It's Raining on Prom Night," and we didn't know anything except words on, again, because we were reading the album cover, right? And I have some more interesting facts about Sydney coming up, but I'm going to save those.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so next on the album is "Cats in the Cradle" by Harry Chapin, and this is the first story song on our album, and we covered "Cats in the Cradle" in our story songs episode, didn't we, Michelle? Didn't you take
it
"Cats
was
in
one
the
of my
Cradle"?
picks. Yep.
So if you want to learn more about Cats in the Cradle, Michelle goes deep on that one. Okay, and then we have, fan favorite. If you want to get Manilowed, what is next, Carolyn?
Next would be Mandy. So if you're not already teary enough from Cats in the Cradle, you're going to get teary now. We're hitting that section of the album and the
Yes.
stretch of songs.
Mhm.
So as we continue with the lumps in our throats, I dare you not to be struck by the waves of nipple lightning that you will get as you hear those first few notes of that iconic Barry Manilow hit. It hit number 1 in 1975, and it is Barry's first number 1 hit. And if you remember from our Barry Manilow episode, which was way back in May of 2021, episode 17. That's only as long as we could wait.
We were babies.
Wow. We love this. We were such babies. The title of that episode was I Rank the Songs of Barry Manilow. And we told everybody that Barry didn't even want to record Mandy. It was at the insistence of record producer Clive Davis that he finally what? Not succumbed.
Said relented. He relented.
Yeah, right. So that he finally relented, and the rest we can say is history.
Remember the title? It was Brandy, but there was already a song, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl.
You're a fine girl.
Yes.
It was Mandy.
Correct.
And then because of that one little thing, how many Amandas do we get in the late 70s? How many babies are born named Amanda so that they could be Mandy?
Right.
I wanted
to think about
that's what I was going to name my daughter.
His whole fan culture, the Manilows, that's when they, kind of were born when not born, but
yes.
well, yes, fan culture. And you think about that was without social media that he was able to, well, he wasn't, but that this whole culture called Manilows, way before there were ever Swifties or anything like that, we had a group that obviously loved and continues to love him. As we do, because as you know, we saw him in concert in Palm Springs, and also, as you know, and if you don't, why don't you? Because this song took on a whole new meaning for us when we saw Barry perform it in concert a few years ago. So if you remember, listeners, and if you don't, here's what happened. We see a video of Barry Manilow singing this song in 1975 on
a giant screen.
On a giant screen.
Yeah.
And it's from his first performance of Mandy on television. It was on the Midnight Special. And then the song plays, and then a few minutes later, the real current day Barry Manilow starts playing that. Mandy goes right into his younger self, and he's playing at the piano, and the young Barry's on the screen playing the piano. And we have this moment, and it really that was the birth of our term Manilowed.
To get Manilowed.
Right. When we are our present day selves at the same exact moment that we are our young 1975 songs. Such a powerful, powerful song.
It was such a device. It was such an effective tool because we were seriously disoriented. We're like, what year is it?
Right.
Where am I?
It was that getting whoosh-skerdooed, but then whoosh-skerdooed. It was like this.
And Manilow.
This just push and pull. It was it was insane.
Happened to me big time too a couple years ago at Red Rocks at the Duran Duran concert when they sang Is There Something I Should Know? On the screens, it was all the old Tiger Beat covers and posters and whatever. And I had all of them on my wall, but then they're this age singing, but then it's them up on the screens
it's
as
almost
1983
too much.
them.
It's almost too much.
So, and I remember, Carolyn, you were you were the reason we had to come up with a term like Manilowed, because when that happened, listeners, when it's 1975 Barry and, at the time 2021 Barry, Carolyn afterward was just so moved and in tears because she said in that moment she was 2021 Carolyn, but she was 1975 Carolyn, seeing it all. And it's like we said, it's too much almost. You needed a word to describe that feeling, but
exactly.
I think everybody
It's like existential overload.
Ooh, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty incredible to think, you guys, I don't know if we talked about this in our episode, that he recorded that song in one single take. Can you imagine? I mean,
really?
Think about how many takes we have in just one episode for us. Can I start
Just
over?
Say,
I'm going to start
welcome,
over.
listeners.
Yeah, we've already been sitting here for 3 hours recording this episode. No, just kidding.
And I wondered how the song on Music Express, how that version compared to the original recording. And here's what I found. So the original recording, like the standard album version or the single that we would have purchased, came in around 3 minutes and 15 seconds. The Ktel'S album version is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So as we've said before, a little bit truncated, just so we can get all of these amazing hits in one place. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think that Barry Manilow's career would exist as we know it without this song?
No. 100% no. I mean, not that he wouldn't be Barry Manilow,
Right.
but that song just like catapulted him in front of all of us. And here was this guy. He was not a sex symbol, and he kind of became this odd sex symbol because of Mandy, because everyone wanted to be Mandy.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a moment. And he had been in the music business forever.
Right.
He had albums before, but it was really Mandy that made him a superstar.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, moving on to our next song. This is where the haunting music comes in. Although I would argue Cats in the Cradle is a haunting song.
Yeah, I think this whole little section.
Yeah, Mandy is a haunting song, but this next one is the hauntingest. I'm Not in Love by 10cc. The thing that is most notable about this song is the opening. It is a very dramatic, lush, sustained note in a variety of harmonies for a freakishly long time, almost like a Gregorian chant. And then we're going to play it. Okay. So my neighbor John works for the biggest hearing aid company in the world. So he's really into sound.
Okay.
And
do we get a discount, by the way, if we
I'll ask.
Our hearing aids?
I'll ask if we can get some free hearing aids. So he's really into sound. And he brought that whole segment to my attention long ago. He's like, have you ever heard 10cc? It's probably when he discovered that I listened to 70s music. He's like, do you know 10cc? Yes, I do. Do you know I'm Not in Love? Of course I do. It's the hauntingest song on Music Express. So he brought that segment to my attention as sort of a historical feat in music recording, because it is that one thing that opens that song that we just heard is 256 voices layered one atop the other in varying harmonies, sustained. And Wikipedia calls it a wordless choir. I love that. It is a word. They're not saying a word. They're just going,
How many did you say?
256.
You guys, can we just give that producer and editor of that song a huge round of applause? Yes. That is a lot of tracks. I only have to deal with 3. I can't imagine.
Right. And it wasn't digital. Like they had to probably do that on tape.
Right. Remember, it's like big tapes.
Remember
and
the
they
Bee
cut
Gees
them
documentary watching how they had to split and loop and
Wow. That's
so it's 256 voices, but it's only the voices of the guys in the band. So they said they spent days singing notes into the microphone. For Carolyn's face, I wish you could see Carolyn's face.
Because I'm thinking there's 256 people, like they got some choir from some church. Wow.
They're like, hey, this is your note. Sing this note. And then they record it. Then sing this note. Then they record it. And it's like 35 seconds is how long this Gregorian chant goes on. And it took them days of singing a single note into the microphone to get that 35 seconds of the song. And the song itself is about a guy who's really trying to convince himself that he's not in love anymore. But he's not convincing anybody else. Like, we know the truth. We can feel that he's working really hard to convince himself that this is true. But even he knows it's futile. He is most definitely in love. And they struggled with how to record this idea, how to make it poignant enough, how to get people to understand. Because he's not like, I'm not in love. I'm not in love. They were, it was hard not to have that vibe to it. They're like, how do we make people understand this notion that he's trying to convince himself? So at first they made it like sort of a bossa nova beat because they really liked the song, The Girl from Ipanema. And that did not work.
No, that does not work.
Yeah. And then finally, after all of this work, they finally said, okay, forget the instruments, forget guitars, forget drums, just a heavenly choir and a tsunami of voices.
Wow. That's amazing to me that someone would have had that thought. Like, that's a gift. That's like musical genius.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's a beloved song. It is, if you're in a mood, just turn on I'm Not in Love by 10cc.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a mood song.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is
I'm not sure
definitely
what
a mood
mood,
song.
but it's a mood song. Yeah, moody. If you're
Mhm.
moody,
Yeah.
Yep,
Moody.
and it's just so sad, and it's so poignant. You really
Yeah.
feel like you feel for this guy. Like, she's obviously gone. I'm
Right.
okay. I'm not in love. I'm not in love. And the next song is also haunting. The next one is Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow. This one got to number 5 on the charts, and Phoebe Snow's voice was regarded as a singular phenomenon in 1975. She was predicted to be huge. She was she was kind of like Minnie Riperton in that she had this incredible range and she could do like these crazy gymnastics with her voice. And she was on her way to being huge until her daughter was born with severe brain damage. And she then devoted her life to
Oh.
taking care of her so she didn't have to put her in an institution. So instead of being a pop star, she becomes a working musician. And she is singing jingles like the AT&T jingle and General Foods International Coffee and Stouffer's. And she sang the theme song for A Different World with Lisa Bonet. That was Phoebe Snow singing that theme song. And she sang backup on 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
Wow. So we have heard Phoebe Snow a lot more
Yes.
than we realize
Yeah.
we have heard. Phoebe
Yes,
Snow.
you definitely know her. But if you were to ask people
Right.
what Phoebe Snow songs do you know, it's just Poetry Man. That's all we've got. And the song Poetry Man has a very like Joni Mitchell vibe to it. And it is an ode to romantic love that she wrote when she was in the throes of young love. She was only 22 when this album came out. But what we never noticed, unless you were listening really carefully, really carefully, was that this love affair that carried her away was with a married man. So she starts talking about the Poetry Man, which sounds like, I swear to God, if it's like a nickname that my roommates and I would have come up with for like your crush in the library. Like
Right.
maybe he's always hanging out in the poetry section, so you start calling him Poetry Man. Did you get a Poetry Man sighting? Right? Can't you? That's exactly what it
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like. He probably has a ponytail.
Yeah.
And she
Ponytail
says,
Poetry Man.
Ponytail Poetry Man. Yeah.
Mhm.
And she says in the lyrics so incredibly beautifully, "You're the poetry man. You make everything all rhyme." Which I always thought was, you make everything all right.
I did
Oh,
too.
no, because poetry doesn't work like that. You make everything all rhyme. But here's the part that we didn't notice. She says, "So once again, it's time to say so long and to recall the lull of life. You're going home now. Home's that place somewhere you go each day to see your wife, to see your wife."
Oh.
And I never heard it. I never heard it.
You know what? I have a little theory here.
Yeah.
Could she be the wife in the song that you told us about?
Oh my God. In
Oh,
Diary?
Yeah, in Diary.
Oh my God.
By Bread.
Is that
By Bread. Yeah.
Yes, by Bread.
Would
Maybe
that
that's
work?
what
I
was in
found
her
your
diary, and
under
her
the
husband.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna
no.
have to do a little. We're gonna have to do a little reconnaissance.
Once again,
there.
Carolyn, you need to be writing fan fiction about all these
Yep,
that's
theories
right.
you
Yep.
have and things. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next song is I didn't do any research on this song, and I am remorseful because I feel like there's a good story here. The next song is Chevy Van by Sammy Johns, and I didn't dig into it, but I've always assumed that this is about doing it in a van, and it's all right with him.
Yeah, I just
I don't think I know that song.
Yes, you do. Oh, sorry.
yes, you
Okay.
do.
That's
Yeah,
really,
you do.
you know what? We
Mhm.
probably shouldn't do that to people. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, oh,
I
yes,
know
you
that.
do,
Yes,
Michelle.
you do.
Like,
I'm like, I
because
don't
it's
know
kind
that
of
I
like,
do.
especially if they truly don't, then you made them feel kind of stupid.
Okay,
So we
Right,
probably
right.
shouldn't,
I'm
but
gonna
she's going to
find,
play it, and you will know. In my
I'm gonna-
Chevy van, and
and
that's
There's
all
a lot.
right.
There's
right with
actually, I would say,
me.
half of the songs. If I just look at the title on these,
Well,
I
I
don't
thought
know
that
them.
too, but we're going to talk about some because once I heard them, I thought, oh, I didn't know that was the title of that song.
Okay, here's Chevy Van.
A ride in the wagon. She come.
Wait till the chorus.
Yeah, wait till the chorus.
She was tired. 'Cause her mind was dragging. I said, get some sleep and dream of rock and roll.
Still
Just
no.
like a picture, she was
Here.
laying there. Moonlight dancing off her hair.
Oh, okay.
She woke up and took me by the hand. She's gonna love me in my
My
Chevy
Chevy
van.
van.
No, but I love it. I kind
It's
of
a
love
great
it.
song.
I don't know
and they
it.
are going
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
it.
They're going to do it in his van.
I
Yeah.
kind of love no, but I love that he calls it his Chevy van.
His Chevy van. It's not any van. It's a Chevy van, and they're
It's a
doing it
Chevy
in the
van.
moonlight.
That's all right with him.
And that's all right with him. I
Mm.
would imagine that he would not protest.
No arguing there.
And we're going to bring up the end of side one with Michelle's last
So
pick.
good. I mean, you have to close side one with, you've got teenage tragedy, you've got murder, you've got a pregnancy.
Yep.
This actually was this, of course, I'm talking about Run, Joey, Run. This was one of my story song picks back in that story songs episode. I was like a moth to a flame with this song at age 6 because it shattered me, yet I couldn't stop listening to it. I don't know what it was, if it was her, if it was the daddy, please don't. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stop listening to it. And I do talk about this in our story songs episode, but because some of you haven't listened to that one yet and you loved this song, I'm going to just talk a little bit about it again. It was performed by soft rock singer David Geddes, released in 1975, reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Cashbox charts. And as we know, it tells the very dramatic story through three voices. It's Joe. Did we know his name was Joe ever?
Not Joey. Run, Joey, run.
Right. I mean, I guess I just... cut that part out because I got
Okay.
this just from like Wikipedia
Well,
and it said
Joey.
Joe.
It's probably Joe.
I know, but it was Joey, like Joe. Like,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden it's like we were reading a book and we were like,
Yeah.
Joe. Did we know? I guess I could have said, did we know his name was Joseph? Okay, so we have Joey. We have his girlfriend, Julie, and we have her very angry father. And of course, the conflict is that Julie calls Joey up and she warns him that her father is furious over their relationship and her pregnancy. At age 6, I didn't get that there was a pregnancy, but if you listen to it now, you get that. And is coming for him with a gun. Now, ignoring her, which is Joey's fatal flaw. I mean, he should have just called the police, right?
Yeah.
Let's just be real. His fatal flaw, he kind of set himself up for this because he rushes to her house and as the father aims the gun at Joey, Julie steps in front of the bullet to save him. And then she dies in Joey's arms, and her last words are the plea once again, for like the 80th time, to her father, "Daddy, please don't." But by this time, she's choking it out.
Yes.
Probably on her.
This is the
"Daddy,
blood gurgling
please
in her
don't.
throat.
It wasn't his fault. Yeah, so sad. Hang on just a second. Okay, and some fun facts in the original David Geddes's version. It features the high-pitched voice of Paula Vance. She plays Julie. She was the daughter of the song's co-writer, Paul Vance, and she's the one who does the "Daddy, please don't." It was because at the beginning, let's not forget, she's not gurgling. She's still very impassioned. "Daddy, please don't." Actually, it gets more and more impassioned, right? And as we also talked about in that Story Songs episode, it got a lot of resurgence when they featured it on Glee. And
right.
it was Rachel Berry was singing the song alongside Puck, Jesse, and Finn. Do you guys agree or disagree with this? There is a debate that Run, Joey, Run. Let me say this differently. There is a debate because Run, Joey, Run is frequently listed on lists, frequently cited on lists of the worst songs ever recorded. So there's a big debate because people get really passionate about this song for one of the two, for either side. Absolutely not. It's so classic. It's so great, or it's horrible. And I do think I've told this story before, but the first time we played it for our girls, they were probably teens. And we were like, listen to this song. And I think it's because it was our daughters had seen it on Glee. and they were
Okay.
like singing it or whatever, or it came up on their Glee playlist, and we're like, do you know that this was a song from like us, from our childhood? Played them the original, and they literally, jaws were just like open to the ground, like, what was wrong with
What is
your
wrong with you
generation? What was
people?
wrong
Yeah.
with you people?
This is entertainment for you? Like,
I don't
what the
know.
hell?
It is an awful song, but I'm gonna stand. I do not believe it should be on the worst songs ever recorded,
Well,
because it's just so tragic and sad.
It's so
and it
tragic.
makes you feel. It doesn't makes you feel. So for
But
that
sometimes
reason,
there's
it can't
the
be
category
worse.
of so bad it's good. Like, it's so bad I would never want to be without it. But I think the thing for me that would take it over into the category of worst song of all time is the little voice that is so manipulative. Like, Danny, please don't.
Well, and let's also not forget that the actual lyrics of the song are pretty bad. He's like, I got into a car and ran to Julie's house. I don't even know the words, but that's
Like
what's
off the
playing
top
in
of
my
his
head
head.
right now.
Yes.
Like, it's just sort of
Almost
like,
like you
I got a
put
call from Julie
like
the other
music
night.
to a newspaper article or like
Yes.
something you had written down, and then you
Mhm.
just like try to sing it or something. It's
Totally.
just-
But his voice is even just so like, I like Kristen. I think I'm going to stand firmly in what you said. I think it's so bad that it's kind of good.
Yeah, I never want to be without it. I
Well,
love it. I
it's
love
a great story. I mean, a story song. It definitely has pictures in my mind and a narrative,
Yes.
and it has a beginning, middle, and an end.
It's
And
cinematic.
I guess it depends on what you're looking. The characteristics of what you think a great song are.
Yeah,
Well,
what is a
it
good
definitely
song? Yeah.
it stands firmly in that genre
Yes.
of teen tragedy songs, and it might be
Yes.
one of the best.
I
Worst
would
teen
say.
tragedy
Yes.
songs, however
Mhm.
you can
Yep.
say it. So yeah,
Yeah.
great way to close side one, though. I think we can all agree on
yes.
that.
I wonder how would you do all tragedy is like that, and all tragedy in music is manipulative of your emotions. So what makes a good? Well, how would you even do a good Everybody Dies song? I mean, it's all going to be bad.
Yeah.
And that includes on side 2 of Music Express, because the opener on side 2 is the song. I'm going to Husker Du people like crazy right now. The song Rocky by Austin Roberts. And you're like, yep, never heard of it. Yes, you have. It's another story song. It is another tragedy. It's a weirdly upbeat little ditty about a man whose young wife dies, and her dying words are, Rocky, I've never had to die before. Don't know if I can do it. Oh, no, Michelle's shaking her head again. Come on.
Oh no, I'm shaking my head like I don't. It wasn't like on on repeat, but no, I was shaking my head.
Oh,
like,
you know
that's
it.
so
Yeah,
tragic.
you know it.
Yeah, I know
Carolyn,
that. I
does
know
it
that
sound?
part, yeah.
Does it sound familiar to you?
It might, but I'm right now years old thinking, I thought the whole time we were getting ready for this, and when I saw it on the back, that it was the theme from Rocky.
Of course you did.
So I
Yes.
was like, why are you going to Husker Du me? Because
Yeah,
everybody
'cause
knows
everybody
the theme
knows
from
Rocky.
Rocky.
Think about that. There was a time when the name Rocky didn't mean Sylvester Stallone. And he changed that for all of history. So this is just a year prior. There's this song called Rocky. And Austin Roberts, after Rocky the movie comes out, is probably like, God damn it. Now my song's gonna get all messed up.
No, I bet it was the opposite. I bet more
Maybe did they buy
people-
the 45
Listen,
by
because they
accident?
were like, it's Rocky.
Yes.
I bet it's the theme from Rocky.
Where's Gonna Fly now? And she's like, Rocky, I've never had to die before. So the song, another story song, it tells the whole story in song from when they met as 18-year-old college students, and he proposes, and they get married, and they buy a house, and they fix it up. This is just the first verse, you guys. And there's this progression with a familiar refrain. First, it's Rocky, I've never been in love before. Don't know if I can do it. But if you let me lean on you, take my hand, I might get through it. And then it's Rocky, I've never had a baby before. I don't know if I can do it. And then it's Rocky, I've never had to die before. I mean,
even.
WTF, right? And then the fourth refrain has Rocky envisioning hearing his deceased wife reassuring him, Rocky, you know you've been alone before. You know that you can do it.
It's
And that-
terrible.
Like,
it's
terrible.
heartbreaking.
It's terrible. She can still advise him, and she can still lead him, and he can still count on her, even though he's alone with their baby.
Oh,
I
know, it's horrible. It's horrible.
yeah.
I
No,
probably
thank
didn't
you.
listen to that often because stuff like that just
Yeah,
broke me.
that gives me like love story vibes, and that
It's
movie
very
rocked
love
my
story.
world.
Yeah, and it is very Run, Joey, Run, where you have the woman's
Oh, yeah.
voice like, "Oh, Rocky, I've never had to die before." Well, of course you haven't. You only die once. That makes no sense. You can have lots of babies, you can fall in love, but you
Right.
only die one time. Stupid. Okay, anyway, the next song on the album. Okay, we're gonna put that in the haunting category
Yes,
also.
I think
Yeah.
that
I think
continues.
this next one is also haunting. The next song is Jackie Blue by the Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Who
I know
are
you're
the
laughing.
Ozark Mountain Daredevils?
Yes.
I've never
I
heard
know
of
the
them in my
song,
life.
but I couldn't have told you who sang it.
It's like magnetic poetry. That's how they got their band name. It's the
Okay. Yes,
Ozark
that's right.
Mountain Daredevils. Okay. And I think this song is very notable for that ooh hoo, Jackie Blue, live her life from inside of a room. And it's
Of course I
about
know
a
that
woman.
song. I would have
Yes.
never in a million years. Brian and I do this all the time when we're listening to like different 70s playlists.
Yeah.
And well, you know the song, like that one. You can sing.
Yep.
You
Yep.
cover up the screen in your car and you say, okay, 3 guesses who sang it. And it is the most obscure name. And we're like,
Yep.
we always come back to, it's got to be America. It's America. We're like,
Right.
America.
Yeah, that's
It's America.
right. It's a good
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Good guess.
But
Mhm.
the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, never.
Never heard of it. And think of the impact. I mean, I just want to reach out to the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And so we could be sitting next to them on the bus for all we know.
Right.
And their music
Right.
is in our minds and we can sing it. We can sing all the words. We know it by heart. And yet those people are just, going through the McDonald's drive-through like we are. We have I think of the impact.
Yes.
I should be so lucky that I create something that people will quote in 50 years.
You have
Mhm.
created
thanks,
something. I mean,
Carolyn.
people
Thank
are going to
you.
be I just meant our words. I didn't necessarily mean your book, but it could be that too.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, that's right.
Gonna be
Like
around in
Manilow
50
and
years.
nipple lightning and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, your words
Okay,
are
but this
so
is really
quotable.
interesting because the entire side 2, there's only 2 songs that when I looked at it, I was like, I
Yeah.
think I only know 2 songs from side 2.
Isn't that crazy?
But now I'm like, maybe I know more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just wait. Just wait. So the song itself, we kind of know it. We've been singing it, but we didn't know it. Living your life from inside of a room. So it's about a woman who never gives anything really enough time or energy to really find any kind of happiness. She just lives her life inside of a room. She gets bored. She's kind of indifferent. And radio stations often played an edited version of this song that omitted this last verse, which really kind of makes it more apparent. So the last verse says, "Every day in your indigo eyes, I watch the sunset, but I don't see it rise. Moonlight and stars in your strawberry wine. You take the world, but you won't take the time." I mean, that's a 70s verse right there. Moonlight and stars in your strawberry wine,
Yeah.
right? And big surprise, this kind of makes sense. It's inspired by someone they met who was strung out on drugs. And she just was not living
Oh.
a full life. She just was.
Hiding
That
out in a
was-
room.
And you know what's funny? I listened to something on NPR the other day that really kind of struck me because, now dispensaries are going in on every corner, right? And everybody's trying to normalize weed smoking or, I'm going to have a gummy before bed or whatever. And, to each his own.
Have you been in
right?
my house lately?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
However, there is something to be considered that I don't hear people talking about. And this person on NPR said that weed might make you feel better, but it steals your ambition.
Mm.
You're kind of, yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if
Mhm.
people take a lot, then maybe it numbs you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Numbs me right to sleep though.
And here's like goody two shoes over here. I wouldn't know because I've never done it or experienced it. So I don't know if I'd have any less
Not,
of
not,
ambition.
not one
So-
puff? Nothing?
The
Not a thing?
one time I tried to puff in high school, I started coughing so much and they grabbed it out of my hand like I was wasting it. Like,
Oh!
like people are wanting to like get
Oh,
the
right,
stuff
yeah.
and put it
Like,
in their
oh
face.
God, get it away from the rookie. I've never taken a puff of anything. Cigarette,
Mhm.
doobie,
Not a
whatever you wanna
cigarette?
call it.
You've never had a puff
Nothing.
of a
Nope.
cigarette?
Nope,
How did
never
you
had
look
a
cool
desire
in
to.
high school, Michelle?
Just by being me. How did I look cool? By my stirrup leggings and my jelly shoes and my giant bow and my ponytail? My giant shoulder pads, Kristen? Duh. I'm offended.
I was like full on Olivia Newton-John at the end of Grease. Like,
yeah, no, but
like, did you carry a carton or not a carton? Did you carry a pack in your purse or anything?
I never owned any. I never bought any. I hate
the smell.
Literally like at a party and feeling insecure.
The Pop Culture Preservation Society.
Oh, no. Like I was definitely not a smoker, only a poser. I was a complete poser.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hate the
Sorry,
smell.
I interrupted you.
Way too
I mean,
much,
maybe even literally like this. Right, I'm posing now. Just so I can look cool for the boys. Okay, so the next song on side 2, I think we were still doing like haunting, right? We were still haunting. Now we're getting out of the haunting because our next song is the theme to the Rockford Files by who's got it? Who wrote Rockford Files?
Well, of course we know.
Yeah,
it's Mike Post.
Mike Post.
Oh,
Mike Post.
Yes, absolutely.
He wrote all the TV theme songs, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think Rockford Files might have been the first one that just like blew up.
I think it might have been too. I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! I just waved at my dog. Anyway. He doesn't have hands. So obviously this is an instrumental. We all know it. Oh, I take it back. It may not be the first one because wasn't the theme from Switch the first theme song that was a #1 hit? It was like the biggest song of 1975.
Wow. Again, you amaze me with your musical
knowledge. You told me that.
I did? Well, I didn't remember.
Okay, don't Google it. Don't Google it. We may not remember. Okay, so the next song on side 2 is, for me, the reason that I bought this record. This is my #1 song. It is not the same as the other haunting songs, but it still haunts me, as in I'm sort of mesmerized. So it is the song Sky High by the British band Jigsaw. I love this song. I feel like a child being moved by music for the very first time because it's possible that I was. I almost feel like crying. It's such a dramatic song. It's very anthemic. And this was the song I waited for on the radio, and I never got it. It was so elusive. It was so very elusive. And it starts with that, like, blown, 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 round.
Wait, okay, because you know what? I was like, what is this song until you just did that. Then, of course, I'm like, yes, absolutely. No, I still don't know it.
And then you move into the chorus.
I know it.
You blown it all sky high by telling me a lie.
Yes, you do, Michelle.
It's such a good
song. I even wrote down, you know it, you just don't know that you know it.
That's right.
So far, no.
Another disco sounding one. Just get to the chorus.
Yeah, you got to get to the chorus. There are lots of changes in this song. Lots of changes.
That's why I can't believe you said it was haunting. I don't think it's haunting.
It just gets me.
Here we go.
You've blown it all sky high by telling me a lie. See, she's singing along. She knows it.
Only that part. Okay, but
blown it all
sky high. Oh, yeah, that part for sure.
Yeah.
And also, that is a great song. Like, I need that song on my playlist.
Yes,
I'm on Apple Music right now, and I'm just going to add that.
I can't believe that was the reason you bought it, Kristen, because when I was looking, I thought, like I just said, you know it, you just don't know you know it kind of a song.
Yep.
But yet, obviously, Kristen knows it because that's why she got it.
It was an elusive song. It wasn't. It did go to like number 3 or something. Yeah. I did. I had a Captain. My grandma
was making a Jello mold in the kitchen while she was listening.
While
to
she's
Sky
posing
High.
her
smoking my cigarette.
Smoking her cigarette.
Mm-hmm. It turns out everyone thought that this song was by Paul McCartney and Wings. But no, British band Jigsaw, kind of a one-hit wonder. I am in second grade. I am mesmerized by this song. Peaked at number 3, but it was really significant. It was a huge hit worldwide, and that's because it was the theme song for a movie you never saw called, I mean, if you did, please let us know. It was a movie called The Man from Hong Kong, and it is sort of described as like a melange of like James Bond and Bruce Lee, basically. I had no idea. I did not know this was a theme song. But when I watched the opening credits of this movie, it is a fantastic theme song. It totally works as a theme song. There's shooting, there's kung fu, like one good guy against 3 bad guys kung fu. There are soldiers marching with guns and hang gliding. There's lots of hang gliding because, sky high. It's very sky high. The theme is hang gliding. This is such a roller skating song for me. I think that's probably where I heard it most, was at the roller rink and not on the radio necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a dramatic song. And we can only play like 1 or 2 clips here, people. So you have to listen to the whole song because it changes so dramatically. It can be like spooky and wooey, and then it's anthemic, and then we're dancing. It's just a lot. There's a lot going on in Sky High.
There was a lot going on in that intro to the movie that you just explained. So
lot.
Maybe you had to go from soldiers marching to hang gliding to all the things.
We're going to put this in the Weekly Reader because it is such a wonderful marriage of music and movies, even though many of you will not have heard the song or seen the movie. But when you put the two together, you're like, oh, you've blown it all sky high. It's amazing. Okay, the next song, none of you have heard of it. It's called Brazil by the Ritchie Family. It's another disco instrumental. I take that back. You've probably heard it. You didn't know they were saying Brazil. You thought they were saying like, Vlade.
I didn't think there were any words.
Yeah, you said it was instrumental, but they say Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I take that back. There's like ooh-da, ooh-ahs, la-la-las, Brazil.
Brazil.
They might just say Brazil, and that's it. And then the next song gets the award for the most memorable band name ever.
That's exactly what I have down. Sorry, I have that exact thing down.
Oh, wait, did you do this one?
No, I have but that exact thing. I don't know the song, but this is the best dance, or best name for
best band name ever. This is the song Get Dancin' apostrophe by Discotheques and the Sexolettes.
I'm gonna get that on a T-shirt. I wonder if like T Public has a T-shirt that's the Discotheques and the Sexolettes.
Discotheques and the Sexolettes.
And you have to say that Discotheques is disco-TEX. It's not like a discotheque that we're going to.
Right. It's not like plural
on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. It's like Texas, not plural discotheques.
Right.
Discotheques is his name. Okay. And you have to look up his picture because when you see discotheques, you will laugh your ass off. It is more 70s than Bert Humby. It is so funny. So Discotheques was a former hairdresser who was a regular on Johnny Carson for some reason. I don't know if he was like doing hair or stand-up or singing. I have no idea. But he did have another big hit with the Sexolettes called I Wanna Dance With You. Do Dat Dance. And it's DOO. Yeah, look, there he is. Discotheques. Look at, oh my God, look at his wiener. Look at his package in his jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, put it away. Put that thing away.
It's coming for you. It's coming for you. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
No pun intended. Actually,
I have vague memories. Where's the woman's?
Wait, look at him here. Oh no, we don't want to see his wiener.
I know, right?
But Kristen, he's holding a cigarette like you used to in high school.
Yeah, that's me being cool.
Holders.
And like Lucy.
Look at the
like
Sexolettes look like the precursor to the Robert Palmer girls.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's their job. But here's a fun fact for you. You're gonna die.
Uh-oh.
Here's your interesting factoid. One of the Sexolettes was Cindy Bullins. From Philadelphia Freedom and the Grease soundtrack. I'm not even kidding.
That's not a trifecta.
God.
That is a pop culture trifecta
like
for
we can
you.
just
If there's
end
ever
the episode right now.
That's right.
She was a Sexolette.
Oh my gosh. They.
That's right. He. Okay. He was a Sexolette.
That's right.
Sydney Bullins was a Sexolette.
Wow. Sydney Bullins got around. Good for you.
And you
no
guys,
kidding.
He had several albums. Like He's got lots of different album covers. He's got that kind of Richard Simmons hair.
Yeah,
he
definitely
does.
Type of
big
thing
Richard
going
Simmons.
on.
Yeah,
Caricature-ish.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to dance with you. Do that
I've
dance.
changed my mind. I don't want a t-shirt anymore with
Can you
And it's
tell me?
literally spelled choo, CHOO.
So
the
I
chew.
want to with.
I
Guys.
wanna, I'll spell it for you. It's
Okay.
I wanna, WANNA, I wanna dance wit apostrophe. WAT
Oh.
apostrophe, chew, CHOO. Oh, now parentheses, do dat dance. DOO, dat dance, parentheses.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like a caricature thing? Like, is he
I don't
funny
know.
or something?
I mean,
Does
the song's pretty funny. The song's
okay.
like
So
pretty.
maybe he's
I
like
don't know
a
if it's-
Weird Al Frank. Weird Al
Maybe.
Franken. No, that's not his name.
Weird Al
Weird Al-
Franken.
Oh gosh, I think we're coming toward the end here, aren't we? People?
We're very, very close. The next
We
song
are-
is
we are.
Long Train Runnin' by the Doobie Brothers, and I was too tired to look up anything about that song. So then the next song is My Eyes Adored You by Frankie Valli. Michelle, tell us about My Eyes Adored You.
I know. Well, as we've talked about many times on the podcast, 50s style music had a huge resurgence and became really popular in the mid
Mhm.
70s. And that was really driven by this huge nostalgia boom, right? Like the social and political climate of the 60s. And let's not forget the trauma of the Vietnam War. It kind of made so many Americans just crave for that simpler time and more innocent. And also, don't forget that the baby boomer generation, they were entering adulthood right then, reaching
Mhm.
their 30s, and they were becoming this dominant like consumer of
Yeah.
music and everything. So they were also kind of driving what was being like sold and everything like that. So My Eyes Adored You was performed by Frankie Valli, obviously, released in November of 1974. And
Number
although
one.
it was released as a single, like a solo single, Frankie Valli, the entire Four Seasons group actually performed on
Oh,
this
you're
song.
kidding.
But their new label, Private Stock, was their new label. They insisted that he just be credited solo, like by Frankie Valli, because they feared that having the Four Seasons on it felt too old-fashioned for 1975 audiences,
oh.
How
even
did
though
the
all
Four
this music
Seasons
was
feel
coming
about
back.
that? I mean,
Yeah,
good
no
question.
kidding. Well, as
I'm
long
not
as they
really
got
sure.
the proper cut, right? As
I
long as they get
guess.
the right cut. But I can see that PR move. Like, no, this is not
Mhm.
a
Right.
has-been fuddy-duddy band. This is Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli's now stepping out. And you
Yeah.
know how I said it,
Repackaged.
that it was their new label, Private Stock, that wanted to, that kind of insisted on that. Interestingly, they originally recorded, or it was originally recorded for Motown, which was their Motown, their label, but they refused to release it. But Frankie Valli believed in it so much that he bought the master rights back from Motown for $4,000.
$4,000.
What a smart man.
And then released it on his own. It was a huge
Yeah,
hit,
and
right? Wasn't it huge?
It was his
It was a
first
huge
number one.
hit. Yeah,
It was
his
a
first
number one hit.
one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was a
And
number
it's on
one
a
hit.
KTEL album. It's on Music
Yeah.
Express. I mean,
Exactly.
come on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is the song that, as you guys know, it's like kind of the singer is reminiscing about his childhood crush.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
right.
he's chasing
Walking
fame
you
in the
home
city.
from school.
Yeah, carried your
Mhm.
books home from school and The Love I Left Behind. The
Mhm.
writers on this were a pretty successful songwriting team, Bill Crew and Kenny Nolan, who, like I said before, he's, I like dreaming, because dreaming can make you mine.
Yeah, he wrote that song.
I like dreaming. He sang it. Holding my
Oh, that's
closing
who
my
sang it.
eyes
Okay.
and feeling
Feeling
fine
fine.
when the lights go down. Oh my God.
Mm-mm,
Brian and I have loved that
mm-mm,
song, I think, since we
mm-mm.
started dating. Did you know that Kenny Nolan and Bob Crew also had another number one hit in March 1975 besides My Eyes Adored You, and that was LaBelle's hit Lady Marmalade. It was kind of interesting
No
that
way.
how everybody's all connected, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody's all connected.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can take you one step further on that, one connected.
Okay.
You guys, you're going to die. So,
Uh-oh.
Bob Crew, writer of My Eyes Adored You. His brother Dan Crew, married to Sydney Bullins.
This is so great. This, listeners, is why I do this podcast. It's like our John Sebastian. She's becoming.
Yes. And people are each other's like godparents and whatever.
Yes, with Vivian Vance, our godmother.
Oh my God. This truly is the best Love Boat cruise ever.
Yes,
ever.
I love it.
Last fun fact about My Eyes Adored You. Also, I would just want to say, I know I've said this as many times as we've talked about the resurgence of 50s music, and I think, I know at least Carolyn agrees. I would assume Kristen's, 38-year-old self then agreed, but I was so here for all that old 50s music coming back.
I was for sure.
I loved it. I mean, think about like Sean Cassidy's first album, like all those old throwback songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and just like, why did I just space on them now? But all the other songs on that album.
Yeah, all the other ones, yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Right.
They're all 50s ballads.
We always wanted to play 50s. We always want to play 50s.
We did want to play 50s.
Yeah.
But My Eyes Adored You is just such a beautiful song. Like, I love it so much. Its original title was Blue Eyes in Georgia. And that just doesn't work for me.
Blue Eyes in Georgia. No.
I mean, I guess if that's what would it have been, but My Eyes Adored You is just so romantic.
The word adore
I know.
makes you just, it makes you melt.
It makes
the word
you
exactly.
Yeah. It makes you
My
fill in the
Eyes
blank.
Adored You. It's such a sweet, sweet song.
It truly is.
Okay, the next song is it's a close runner-up to Discotheques and the Sexolettes as far as the band name is concerned. It's another instrumental. It's called Dynamite by Tony Camillo's Bazooka. Whatever. Okay.
Well, it's not sort of quite an instrumental, because if you start from the very beginning, they do say dynamite. I thought, did JJ get his dynamite from this song?
Or he might have.
Well, keep in mind, I think dynamite, like JJ, I don't think he invented that. I think his performance of it went viral, if viral was a thing back then. But I think people would use that as slang all the time, like, oh yeah, dynamite.
Yeah, that's true.
Or dynamite.
Yeah.
If you were white, you said dynamite. If you're black, you said dynamite.
Yes. But so they do say that in the beginning of the song, but then it truly is an instrumental.
And then it is, and it sounds very much like movie or music that you would hear in a made-for-TV movie when they go out dancing. That's what this song is.
Yes.
And you can see them right now in their circle skirts, right? In their wraparound skirts.
Right.
And it's
Charlie's Angels. Is that like plucking a guitar? Like, what is that? Electric?
Yeah, that would be plucking.
Sound?
You like twang it.
Yeah. And then we're gonna close out Music Express
already.
We're gonna close it out. Here it is. The last song on side 2 is Black Superman, quote unquote, Muhammad Ali by Johnny Wakelin and the Kinshasa Band. So this went to number 21.
Band.
That is not a top 10 song. Yeah, your favorite band, right? The Kinshasa. Johnny Wakelin and Kinshasa.
I always say that.
This is such a funny song. It's by an English songwriter, and it's not a novelty song, you guys. It really is not a novelty song. It's by an English songwriter named Johnny Wakelin, and this song is a reggae version of another hit he had abroad called Hungarian Superman. Joe Bugner,
yes,
parentheses, Joe Bugner, who was also a boxer.
A boxer.
Yes, he was a boxer. So, not coincidentally, this guy, Johnny Wakelin, was discovered by a producer who is responsible for the song Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. Like, it all makes sense, right?
Yes.
It all makes sense.
Just like
and he really wanted, as you can tell from, Black Superman Muhammad Ali and Hungarian Superman Joe Bugner, he wanted to write songs. I mean, those names are in the title of the song, you guys. I'm not just adding that on. It's Hungarian Superman, parentheses, Joe Bugner, parentheses. Black Superman, parentheses, Muhammad Ali, parentheses. So he wanted to write songs that would catch people's attention. And so this is a tribute to boxing champion Muhammad Ali, who fought on October 30th, 1974 against George Foreman in a matchup known as, do you guys know what it was? It's a Trivial Pursuit question.
It's the greatest match of all time or something like that.
Almost.
Like that.
Oh my God, almost.
Yeah.
Almost. It's called The Rumble in the Jungle.
Of course, yes.
Yes. And this was broadcast. The reason it's The Rumble in the Jungle is because it was broadcast from Kinshasa, Zaire. What is the name of our band?
Oh,
Kinshasa.
the Kinshasa band.
The Kinshasa band. Yes, from Kinshasa, Zaire. Yes.
Wow, I remember that fight. I mean, I remember my dad wanting to watch it, and you think about it, Muhammad Ali, we all knew who that was. Like,
Yes,
he
we
was a
did.
pop culture icon.
100%.
Like, our friends would imitate him on the playground.
Fly like a
Yeah,
butterfly,
toys.
sting like a bee.
Yeah,
I'm
we had
the
toys
greatest.
and figures.
I'm the
and everything.
greatest.
I'm the
Yeah.
greatest. And you can do that voice, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the song. Maybe I do.
Well,
I don't know.
I tried
don't
to
know.
listen. I thought maybe I did, but it sent me down a rabbit hole of looking up quotes from Muhammad Ali and things he's known for. I mean, how often do you know quotes from
a
boxers?
boxer?
But
I
he was
know.
such an icon of the
Yeah.
time. I mean, such a pop culture icon. And he'd be on Johnny Carson, and that fight, I remember, again, like my dad wanting to watch it and all of that. Yeah.
I mean, that could be one of our T-shirts. Sting like a butterfly.
No.
Wait.
No.
That's wrong.
No,
Fly
that
like
was-
a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Yeah.
Float, ladies.
It's a float.
Float
like
like
a
a
butterfly.
I would have told you fly.
And
That's
you
how
would
do
much
it
I
like you were
know.
boxing, like
Yeah, that's right.
like you're gonna.
But everybody
it, like,
knew
over
that.
your face.
Everybody knew
Everybody
it.
knew it.
Yeah.
Like on
Yeah.
the playground.
Apparently,
You knew
we
it.
didn't.
Except for us. Yeah, right.
Well, you guys were younger.
Sting
That's
like a
probably
bee.
why.
I knew Sting like a bee. There's something about a butterfly and a bee. But we loved, and everybody loved him. Like, I'm not a boxing fan, but he was like a big teddy bear. Everybody loved Muhammad Ali.
I'm
Go
gonna say
ahead, go
I
ahead.
remember he changed his name kind of like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did, and I can tell you both of their original names. So Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Lou Alcindor. I did a report on him in 5th grade, an oral report, and my teacher said it was as good as a 7th grader's.
What?
Wow.
Still am riding that high.
She
That's
just,
what we're
trotted
getting
that
on
one up.
shirts. That's what
Oh
we're putting
my
on shirts.
God.
Actually, yeah. At the bottom of your resume, is that what you always had for like special skills?
Bottom.
Oral report.
That's what I lead with.
That's the headline. It's as good as a 7th grader. Oh, thank you
Carolyn
everybody
Cochran,
for
Carolyn
showing up.
Rich, good as a 7th grader.
As good as a 7th grader. The meaning ends a little after a certain amount of time. It's not quite the same. It doesn't have the
Maybe
same ring to it. But man, I would be holding on to that one too. Well, I think this, now that we're at the end of Music Express, I think this really says it perfectly. Ktel was such a force in people's lives that there was actually an article in Forbes magazine called Ktel Records, the Spotify of the 70s. And I think I introduced this quote that I'm going to read to you in our previous Ktel episode, but it has even more meaning today. This is what the writer says. Perhaps my favorite Ktel record was 1975's Music Express, an almost unimaginable mix of hits and unknowns, from Love Will Keep Us Together to a song about Muhammad Ali. There was a little of everything: Chevy Van, Get Down Tonight, and the most bizarre song of my childhood, Run Joey Run, a tale of teenage pregnancy and death that would leave Nancy Grace at a loss for words. But it was 10cc's I'm Not in Love that left me reeling, filled with a melancholy I had no precedence nor background for to have it all make sense. I just knew that this was a love song unlike any I'd ever heard, and I needed to hear more like that. So, yes, please, everybody, today, treat yourself to a little 10cc. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
And before we hit stop, a huge thanks to our Patreon crew. You keep the mics on, the memories flowing, and the Gen X spirit alive. Seriously, we couldn't do this without you. Thanks for hanging with us, supporting the show, and being part of this family. And today we're giving a special shout out to Magdalena, Mike, Alice, Miriam, Linda, Richard, Nancy, Celia, and Julie.
In the meantime, let's raise our glasses for a toast courtesy of the Cast of Three's company. 2 good times.
2 happy days.
To Little House on the Prairie. Cheers.
Run, Joey, run!
Cheers.
Cheers,
You guys
everybody.
have made up almost all those names because I couldn't see.
The information, opinions, and comments expressed on the Pop Culture Preservation Society podcast belong solely to Carolyn, the Crushologist, and Hello Newman, and are in no way representative of our employers or affiliates. And though we truly believe we are always right, there's always a first time. The PCPS is written, produced, and recorded in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the fictional WJM Studios and our beloved Mary Richards. Nanu Nanu, keep on truckin', and may the force be with you.